So what should you do if a flash flood strikes? Before the water overwhelms you, get out of your car and seek higher ground if possible. If the floodwaters have surrounded your car and are too strong, getting onto the roof of your car may be the best option. Don't drive into water, especially since the road underneath it might be unstable. Never ignore roadblocks, no matter how safe a road may look. No one should brave the waters of a flash flood by choice. But what about raging rapids people choose to subject themselves to? Each year, 24 million people brave potentially dangerous waters for some major thrill-seeking.
Some of our favorite pastimes and memories happen in or right next to the water. But what you have to remember is just 6 inches of swiftly moving water can knock you off your feet. So imagine you're now in the turbulent rapids. They can easily throw you against rocks, breaking legs, or perhaps causing head trauma. So to find out more about these hazards, we're going to talk to some whitewater experts.
Stephanie and Newton are getting schooled by whitewater rafting expert Eric Weissif on how to brave the rapids if your kayak capsizes and you're floating through these waters on your own.
The bigger hazards are actually under the water, right?
Yeah, it's what you don't see at an instant glance that will get you.
Whether you find yourself in a raging river like this or even a flash flood can look very similar to a river, what do you need to do in order to get out safely?
Key things are keep your feet up so they don't get wedged in. Try and avoid the obstacles that you're swimming into. Sometimes that involves swimming aggressively to the side. And then the final key is to get out of the water. So that's swim towards the edge, find a calm eddy to get into.
An eddy is an area where water moves in a different direction than the current, creating a spot where swimmers and kayakers can stop floating downstream. Coming up, now that Newton knows how to attack these waters, he's going to try and negotiate them on his own.
We're going to jump on a surfboard right here, start to paddle out, and go exactly where the lifeguard said the current is, and we're going to see that current take me out. I'm not going to be paddling towards the rocks. Talk to the locals. They kind of told me where to go.
So what are you worried about?
You got this rock that it really messed you up. I've been cut up by it before. It'd be a major concern.
So how can you tell if there is a rip current in the water?
Look for the break in the waves.
And you'll see the water will be choppy and bouncy, and it'll have a different texture than the rest of the water. People that have been swimming and surfing this coastline for many, many years, I can see it, they can see it. To the uninitiated, somebody that doesn't have much ocean experience, I don't think they could see like a visible rip current that was right in front of them. It's deceptive. Water is deceptive.
You can always go to a lifeguard stand.
Exactly what we recommend. I mean, that's why we're here. 80% of what we do is communication.
We weren't able to see the rip current, but the lifeguards told us where it was. Newton finds the rip, which isn't that strong today. He paddles parallel to shore and gets out of it. But the water is full of other dangers.
I was walking out, reached down to get my leash, and the wave kind of hit me a little bit and kind of hit it on a rock a little bit. Barely bumped my knee.
Barely bumped your knee?
Barely bumped it. Didn't even know I had a cut until I got out and looked down.
So if you're taking a dip at a beach you've never been to before, follow these tips. Ask the lifeguards if the water is safe. If you get caught in a rip current, swim parallel to the shore until you are out of the current. Try to signal or yell for help if you get trapped. And if you are a beginner surfer, never underestimate the ocean's power and know your limits.